Hi YouTube, this is Kaiger1324. Today with another collection video. I'm going to be going over my PlayStation 1 games. I thought I had some more games somewhere, but I can't seem to find them. So if I find them, I'll just show them off in another video. Got about 40 games here. You're wondering why there's an Xbox 360 game there. I'll go over that in a minute. But I had a PlayStation 1 growing up, and it was probably one of my favourite consoles of all time. It's such a great console. It has some really good games on there. There's a lot of like budget games and sports games on there. Obviously I own a PS2, so I can play PS1 games, and you can also play PlayStation 1 games on a PS3, I believe. The problem is with the PlayStation 1 games is the cases get cracked and break easy, at least here in Europe, because as you see, they're a lot thicker here in Europe, because obviously the manuals are a lot thicker because they have multiple languages in them, whereas if you're in America, it should probably just have English, I think. So I've got 40 games here. Like I said, I should have some more somewhere, but obviously they might be in my tub with my PS2 games. I'll have to look for them. So let's just think. Yeah, this inside here was a loose Street Fighter plus Alpha. I can't remember if this is the one that I played when I was a kid. My fiance gave that to me. She just said she had it, so I just put it in there. It was a loose disc. A lot of these games need to be resurfaced or like cleaned, so I'll probably take this to town tomorrow and find out how much it is to resurface the disc, and then hopefully it will work better. I haven't tested if it works, but it has a lot of scratches on it. But yeah, I'm sure I had it with that one. Can't remember which one it was. There was this character that had like spikes coming out of his chest, and I remember when you chose random, there was a chance that you could be evil Ryu, even if you hadn't unlocked him. Brian Lara Cricket. Not much to say about that. A lot of these games here I actually got when a friend of mine text me or Facebook me saying, oh, they had a bunch of PlayStation 2 games they didn't want anymore, and I said, okay, show me what you got. And she showed me, and there was about 40 games there, and I said, I own about 15 of them. So he said, how much? I asked how much for 25 of them. She said, £20, and it was great. That was already a great deal because it came with 2 light guns and all the buzz controllers. And then when I went to meet the guy, her boyfriend, to buy the games, he also had a box full of PlayStation 1 games and said, I have some PlayStation 1 games if you're interested. And I said, oh, of course I am. And then he said, I asked how much, and I was thinking he'll probably charge maybe 30, 40 quid, but he only charged me £20. And some of the games in here, I know this was part one of them, but some of the games in here are worth that already. Micro Machines V3, probably my favourite Micro Machines game. I love playing this game. The case isn't in the greatest of shape, but I love playing this game. It's so fun. I know the 4th one is good on PS2, but this Micro Machines have always been great. Reloaded. The case is in terrible condition. I bought this online, and when it turned up, the case just was smashed to pieces, and I was like, what the hell? I didn't show that off online, did they? It's like a top-down shooter. V-Rally 2 Championship Edition. I love the V-Rally games. I can't remember if it's the first one or the second one I played, but I love V-Rally. It was one of my favourite games of all time. Demolition Racer. This is an awesome game. I believe it was on Dreamcast as well. Don't get this confused with Demolition Derby. This one was awesome. I still remember the cheat code to unlock everything. I think it was XX circle circle. XX circle circle. No. Yeah. XX circle circle triangle triangle square square. All the other way around. And you unlock everything. I remember this game. I remember there was a mode where you could it was, they had Last Man Standing, and they had one where the first one to destroy themselves wins. I remember doing that. I love these series, the Army Men series. Played a ton of these when I was a kid. Land, Sea and Air. These are awesome games. Again, they were on the N64 as well. Another great game here. This was in that bundle, so it made it made it quite a good deal, at least for 20 quid. Sorry, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare. I believe my older brother played this game a bit when I was younger. I remember it being a pretty good game, the Alone in the Dark series. Yeah, the cases are in a bit bad shape, but that's the problem with PlayStation 1. The cases get broken quite easy, at least here in Europe where they're thicker. Army Men Soldiers Heroes. Again, this I love this game. When I got it was £1. So I do occasionally find these in the wild, pawn shops, and sometimes in one of the game shop I go to, they have some PlayStation. I brought this online because I love this game, and the case was in great condition. Total driving, it is so good. This game I played so much of as a kid, and let me tell you something. This game was awesome because it weren't just rally or Formula 1. It had a variety of different cars and different levels, and this game, I believe, I can't remember what it's called in America. I think it's called like World Racing Championships or something like that. I know it's different, got a different name and cover in America, but this game has one of the best techno soundtracks on PlayStation 1. Just listen to the soundtrack for this on YouTube. The techno soundtrack is phenomenal. It's so good. Another rally game, Rally Masters, Race of Champions. Again, a lot of racing games on the PlayStation 1. This game's actually quite tough, actually. Believe it or not, it's actually quite a tough one. It's like you versus another car. A game that I also played so much of as a kid, Jedi Power Battles. Say what you want about Star Wars Episode 1, even though I like all the Star Wars films. The games were pretty good. This one was more like, I love this game because it was co-op. You could play as Plo Koon, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, whose lightsaber was actually blue in this game, but then again, you never saw Mace Windu use his lightsaber in Episode 1, so Qui-Gon Jinn and A.D. Gara, I think her name is. Awesome co-op hack and slash game. Area 51 light gun game. It's an arcade game. I played it in the arcade when I bought it for 49p, so that was a sell for me. 007 The World Is Not Enough. It's a first person shooter. I think I may have played this. I know I played it on an emulator, I think. I can't remember. Not bad for 49p. Spec Ops Ranger Elite. I remember my cousin had this game, and I used to always want him to play it, and he wouldn't play it. But I remember this is like a third person shooter, maybe like a precursor to what's it called? Ghost Recon. At least the older the like World Advanced Warfare. Choker Touring Car Championship, one of my favourite. Again, another great racing game. I used to love playing this. I own 2 copies of this because when I bought this, it was 49p, and I thought I didn't have it, but the case was in nice shape, so. But I did. Test Drive Thor, another game that I didn't have as a kid. Again, it was cheap, but I've heard that these test drive games on the PlayStation are quite good. South Park Rally, it's a racing game, but it's not a great game, but it's not bad actually. It's quite funny. It's a budget title. Tony Hawk Skateboarding, there's no front cover for this. Awesome game. I love the Tony Hawk games, at least on the PlayStation 1 they were awesome. Worms, I was looking forward to playing this, but when I put it in, the game didn't load. So I don't know if I might need to get this one resurfaced. So awesome the Worm series. So much fun to play 2-player. It's over the top, it's wacky, it's just awesome. Time Crisis, light gun game. I love the Time Crisis series. I had this as a kid actually. I used to play that a lot with the Namco. Rugrats game, Studio Tour. Believe it or not, there was one Rugrats game that I had as a kid. I believe it was Hunt for Reptar or Search for Reptar, and I played that a ton. Oddsworld Abe's Exodus. This was again in that bundle I bought for £20, and this was in excellent shape. Really nice box. And this again, the Oddsworld games are going up in price. 2 copies of Die Hard Trilogy. I actually own 3 copies of this because I own, these are the EA classic versions, but I also own the normal box version, and I know I have the second one somewhere as well, so again I don't know where they are, so I have to look for them. Siphon Filter. This wasn't a bad game included in that bundle. I know it's a Siphon Filter is considered to be a good series. Another Army Men game. I haven't actually played this one, Operation Meltdown. I haven't played this one, so I can't say much about that one. Another Toka touring car. I think this was in that bundle I bought. Again, nice to have a spare copy just in case anyone wants it. Medal of Honor Underground. But the box was a Crash Bandicoot 2, and I'm like, too bad it wasn't Crash Bandicoot 2. Because I would have preferred that over Medal of Honor Underground. World Cup 98. I can't remember if this is the one that's really bad. There's one FIFA game that's really, really bad on PlayStation. Another Tony Hawk's game, Pro Skater 2. Love Tony Hawk games. Another copy of Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Again, not bad to have a couple of copies, but this, I'll save that one for last, because I'll explain. Copy of Dancing Star Euromix. This one don't have the front cover. I haven't got the mat, so. Premier Manager 98. There was a lot of sports games in that bundle, but you know I didn't own them, so I'll take them. Tiger Woods 99. This was in that bundle as well, weren't too bad. Crash Bash. It's like a puzzle game, like a, you're on these little pogo sticks. It's a puzzle game. See, look, if you look, the manuals are so thick, but obviously they come in all different languages. So I remember when manuals were thick and big. Now when you look at an Xbox One manual, there's nothing. It's just a sheet with the controls. Sydney 2000. I actually played this on my cousins at one point when I was a kid. Simpsons Wrestling. Not a very good game, but it's actually funny to play 2-player. Another copy of Dancing Stage Euromix. This one has the front cover, which is nice. And LMA Manager. Now, I said there in my last video there was something that made this deal, the £20 deal, worth it, and that was this Metal Gear Solid, the original, $2.99 at one point. This game is going up. This game on Amazon alone goes from £15 up, and that's excluding shipping. And this condition is very, very nice. So the guy obviously looked after this game, and I appreciate that. One of my favourite series, favourite game on the PlayStation 1. This game really made people get emotional attachment to a game, because beforehand games were pretty much you're, jumping around on people or fighting, and there is some story to it, but there's not really a story that makes you feel emotional attachment to a character. And then comes along Metal Gear Solid, and it's a game, but it's also like a movie, and it has everything you want. It's, like it says, tactical, espionage, action. So it's like similar to maybe like a James Bond type thing, where it's, you know, you're a spy, and you know you're well, I don't need to go on about that, but this game comes along and it has something that people haven't seen before. Because yes, Metal Gear originally was on the Japanese MSX, but if you weren't from Japan, you would never have heard of it. And the NES games weren't really faithful to the MSX version. I know the MSX was more powerful than an NES. For the time, they probably would have been good, but obviously they're not great. They don't hold up that well anymore. And then this game comes out, and it's like, I'm no longer playing a game where I'm going around fighting everyone I see. I have to be tactical. I have to be stealthy. I don't want people to see me. And this game, like up to Metal Gear Solid 5, I believe, well, I know the first four Metal Gear Solid games, this game is like a movie, but with gameplay. Because the gameplay in this game is solid, like it says, Metal Gear Solid. But the cutscenes are timeless. They're amazing. They're really good. People get confused in the plot. I can see why. If you don't listen to it, you're not going to get it. So you really, if you want to understand the plot, listen, watch, and don't skip anything, or you won't understand the plot. Yeah, this game has. I can't praise this game enough. It has one of the greatest stories on the PlayStation game. At least, a game that's not necessarily Final Fantasy or something like that. It has great characters, and probably one of the best series that has boss fights. The boss fights in these games are awesome, and it's emotional. Like the fight, like with Cyber Ninja, and what happens to him, and the boss fight, the final boss fight with Liquid Snake on top of Metal Gear Rex is awesome. Sorry if I'm spoiling anything, but this game's been out for ages, so if you haven't played it, then it's your own fault. Yeah, the final boss fight with Liquid Snake was an awesome boss fight. And probably the most amazing thing about this game is the Psycho Mantis boss fight. And if you know what I'm talking about, you understand. So there's this guy called Psycho Mantis. He has psychic powers, obviously. And then he starts talking to you, and he says, I can read your mind. And you're like, is he talking to Snake or is he talking to me? But he's talking to you, the player. And he says, so he'll go, you like Castlevania, don't you? And it's like, how does he know I like Castlevania? And what he does is he reads your memory card, and he looks at the games you've played, and that blew people's mind. This was one of the first games that really did break in the fourth wall quite well. And then he'll go, I'm going to move your controller, put it on the ground. So you put your controller on the floor, and it starts moving because he's turned the vibration on. And it's like, what the hell? Is he actually doing this? And the way to beat him was you plugged your controller into the second controller port, which was just, that's Hideo Kojima for you. He really did a great job on Metal Gear Solid. I might do a Metal Gear Solid overview, but I haven't really played the Phantom Pain yet. I'm going to start it soon. I might start it when I've played Metro Last Light, because I feel like I'm going to play that next. But yeah, so I'm really happy to have these. I have more PlayStation games somewhere. If I find them, I'll just throw them in with another video. So yeah, PlayStation 1, awesome console. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. My next video will be probably PlayStation 2. And that's going to be a long one, so I might do that tomorrow. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for watching.